all eyes were on one specific person. Obviously, everyone wanted to see 15 and Kelce, and they were there. But one guy was not there. Actually, 4 guys. So you had a total of 6 guys who weren't there today. 2 were because of injury, Tariq Wharton and Isaiah Pacheco with injury. And then you had 4 guys, Blake Bell, Jerick McKinnon, and Trey Smith. We don't know why they weren't there. But the one main guy was number 95, Chris Jones, who obviously contract extension is going into his last year of his deal. He wants to get a deal done. That's Brett Veach's goal, was to get a deal done with him. And we had some tweets about so Jeremy Fowler tweeted, Chiefs DL Chris Jones, who is not attending minicamp, has a cap hit of $28.2 million in 2023. The last of his current deal, an extension would likely lower that number greatly. And then Adam Schefter said that 4-time Pro Bowler Chris Jones, who Kansas City is open to signing to a contract extension this summer, is not at the team's mandatory minicamp today. Chris Jones, earlier before minicamp, he went on Instagram, posted a video of him doing what is it, the money thing right here. A video of him doing that, which said "coming for it all" #year 8. So my question to you is, we've said all along, when's this going to happen? If you want even a chance to sign DeAndre Hopkins to get more money, we should do this. And it's been a goal since day one. But my question to you is, mandatory minicamp story today. He was not there. What does this mean? Does this mean things aren't going well? The fact that he's not there at mandatory minicamp, with this whole thing, obviously, extensions looming. Is this a bad thing that he's not there?
No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think anything. It means nothing other than they just haven't worked everything out. I know Chris would love to be there in the facility. I know he would love to be around his guys practicing and stuff. But, he's got to take his best interest at heart. That's what he has to do. And so he feels like, he's owed an extension. He feels like he needs to go ahead and get this thing done right now, which I have no problem with that whatsoever. Work these things out at this moment and get it over with, get it done. Go ahead and sew this guy up, sew Chris up, man. I mean, seriously, man, when you look at it, you're talking about arguably the top guy at his position in the NFL, okay? He is your number one priority on the team besides Patrick Mahomes. That's just how it works. Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, and then Travis Kelce, then everybody else. That's how the hierarchy goes for the Chiefs, at least for me. That's the way I look at it. And so, Chris is just, look, he's going to stay in shape. You don't have to worry about him staying in shape. You don't have to worry about his passion and what he's going to give to the team. He's shown that. He's done everything we asked him to do. He's been absolutely phenomenal, incredible at his position. I don't look at this as even more than just, hey, man, look, let's go ahead and get something done. Let's get it all on paper. Let's get it out of the way. That way I could go ahead and just go play and be a Chief for life. How about that? Push it to try to make it a Chief for life, man. But yeah, this is, I don't mean anything. Not at all. Now, other guys, obviously, if I look at it like this, if it's mandatory, minicamp, other guys better be there. Okay? If you hurt, sure. Or if you got an excuse, that's another thing. Maybe family issues or something like that. I'm sure that, that's the only reason guys would miss. But Chris, I ain't looking at anything like this, man. I ain't really worried about it too much, to be honest with you. Not at all.
I think, because I've seen a lot of worried fans, and everyone's been kind of worried all throughout the offseason because the deal hasn't happened yet. And I think there's fans just overall are just kind of, I think obviously we can win without Tyreek Hill, but I think with the way that whole thing transpired, I think people are just kind of scared that situation will happen again with Chris Jones. Do you understand? Do you think that's a possibility?
I do. If there was somebody else on defense, I was saying like, well, shoot, he's, that's like comparable to Travis Kelce, right? On the other side. Nobody makes an impact on defense like Chris Jones does. That's just the reality. That's the truth. Nobody. It ain't taken away from other guys on the team. We got a lot of talented guys on defense. We got a very young secondary that's very good, that's going to get even better. Very talented linebacker core is very good. It's going to get even better. The game is won up front. The game is won up front. Period, point blank. And the thing is, because of maybe some of the pressures and whatnot that we were able to generate over the past years is because Chris Jones is in the middle. He was the one creating a lot of the havoc. He's the one that's making a lot of the plays. And so when you have a guy who's collapsing the pocket, you got a guy who's pushing guys back. He's eating double teams like it's nothing. You ain't gonna block Chris one on one. It's gonna be tough to do. He's gonna create pressure. That allows everybody else around him to be effective. So that's just a reality. And if you don't have that guy there, like a Chris Jones, you'll watch everybody else's game start to slough off. You will, because you don't have that bruiser in the middle, that guy that's running guys down, taking the quarterback, making plays, big plays when you need to. He does all of that and then some for the Chiefs. So just his presence, all of those different things. You talking about it would be deplete having a guy on that defensive line without a guy as talented as Chris Jones. So
yeah, you bring up a good point as far as, because that D line, it's very young. It's, like he is the anchor. I mean, he's everything. He's the heart and soul of the defense. But like,
yeah.
it's a very. You're right. Like, we don't. We're relying on 6th round Keandre Coburn this year at the other D tackle. I mean, like, obviously we have other guys too, but yeah, you're right. There's nobody else that's like can replicate or even do anything near what he has, what he's done. And with so many vets gone too, Clark gone, Dunlap gone. It's really it's a young man's show on that defense, and then Chris Jones.
Yeah, and here's the thing though, and also when you have somebody like Patrick Mahomes who can facilitate certain plays, throws, and whatnot, then that can elevate, a Tyreek Hill, right? We know Tyreek Hill's just, he's got the speed, he can catch, he can make plays, he can make everybody miss him. He's got talent that you just a rarity to see. You just don't see talent like that. But you got to have a guy to get the ball to him. You got a guy that can make say, well, Tyreek's down there somewhere, right? I can make this throw sidearm or whatever and put it on the money, and Tyreek can blast for it. That's what made them say, hey, can we get this done without a guy like Tyreek Hill? Well, we've seen that it was possible. Can our defense be as effective with a guy like Chris Jones? I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible whatsoever. And so just how important Patrick Mahomes is to the offense, Chris Jones is just as important to the defense. So, yeah, everybody else is, it's the pieces around him that, who become better because of their play, put it that way. So,
JD, and I think fans in general don't realize, I guess, how strenuous and how long negotiating a contract can take. I think people just think it's like, hey, let's work on a deal, let's get it done next 2 hours, you get done. That's not. It's business. Not things don't happen like that. Yes, they can happen fast, but can you talk about like what kind of goes on behind the scenes, which can make it such a long and strenuous process sometimes?
Yeah, but, especially with a lot of money being thrown around. You got to work out a lot of different things. You got to work out the term of the contract is how long it's going to be. Okay, what's going to be the incentive base? What is going to be the bonuses? Being tied into it. So you talk about all these different things on how you make money, how you could kind of hide money, but also too it goes into thinking about like Chiefs as far as giving this type of money up, long-term deals, like long-term thinking it through, like for future-wise, like what does it leave us to, what are we thinking about possibly down the road making a deal with also. So it's a tenuous process because there's so much to it. There's so much to it. And so Chiefs want to get it right on their side, and Chris Jones absolutely, positively want to get it right on his side, right? And so I think it's what was one of those things that you had to deal with Orlando Brown Jr., dealing with him twice, is because there's so much to it. It's what guys want, what guys are looking for, what they feel like is owed to them, and they should fight for all those things, right? And the Chiefs are going to look and fight for the things that they want and feel like it's going to work for them. Look, they can talk. It's definitely going to take some time, but whenever this gets done, it's going to get done. But I have no problem with thinking Chris is not going to be here for the year. He'll be here. They'll work something out. And so this off season is the time to get it done. It's the time to do it. Like I said, you don't have to worry about Chris Jones and what he's going to come into shape and all those. You don't have to worry about those things with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nate Taylor of The Athletic reported that, he reported a few weeks back, but their goal is to get this done by training camp. This is only mandatory minicamp. And if you look at the last time he got his big deal was July 14th, though. So we're still a month and a day away from when he got his last deal. So just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Same thing can happen late July, and they can even take it up to late July, like early August. Because when does training camp start? Was it?
Yeah, usually
mid-August or
July. Yeah, July.
Late July, early August.
Yeah, late July. So it may even take a couple of weeks into training camp. Could be. I think when they start talking, like Chris is talking about, he's like, look, I need to go ahead and get this money, get this thing passed out, so I can just go ahead and play and do what I do. So he's not a guy that's going to slough off after he gets the deal. That's what he's always. You wonder about that too. Because some guys get deals, these big contracts, and next thing you know, you don't see suckers no more. You're like, what's all the performance he was getting before we got that money, right? And so it's crazy. It's just crazy to even think that the Chiefs won't get this thing done, but I think they will. Yeah, I got confidence that they will.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. We said before on the show that he's the Mahomes of our defense. And it's like when we gave him that big contract, he's done the opposite of underperforming. He's overperformed that contract, and that's why he's going to get this extension that he well deserves. So it's like, let's get this done. There's not a person in Chiefs Kingdom who does not want him to get his money. So
not one person. So if there is, then you are an anomaly from somewhere. Like I don't want him. I don't want to sign Chris Jones. He's too expensive. What? Okay, all right. See where we at defensively then.
I know. Man, that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I don't even want to think about that. So, so hopefully they get this done by the time I get back from Europe, or even before that. Yeah. So it was also a good thing too. Like that we just saw him a week ago in the White House with everybody on the team. Obviously, it was last year, some of the last year guys, but he was there and stuff. So it didn't seem like there was any friction or fraction. I think he was just right above Brett Veach. So like he was right there. Yeah, and Veach said that was, I think that one press conference we talked about, that was the number one goal was getting Chris Jones' deal done. So that is obviously something they're working on.
Yeah, you don't need him now. You don't need it now. Let them go and work that stuff out, man. Yeah, we worry about all the other guys, what they're doing over there.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.